Hi, today's video we'd like to discuss how to find all linear factors of cubic polynomial using synthetic division. First step of using synthetic division is to find one of the easiest linear factor. The way we can do that is, so for example, when I suppose that this guy has a linear factor x minus 1, then there is another factors. If the function has a linear factor x minus 1, f of 1 must be equal to 0. Because if you plug in 1 here, 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Whatever the remaining the factors are, it must be equal to 0. Then we go backward. If f of 1 equal to 0, x minus 1 is a linear factor. One of the linear factors. So let's verify this guy is a factor or not. What is f of 1? 2 times 1 cube minus 5 times 1 square minus 4 times 1 plus 3. That is 2 minus 5 minus 4 plus 3. That is 5 minus 9, which is negative 4. Unfortunately, this is not equal to 0, which means x minus 1 is not a factor. Next choice we can try is negative 1, assuming that x plus 1 is a factor. So is this true or not? Let's try. F of negative 1 equal to 2 times negative 1 cubed minus 5 times negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 plus 3. So that is negative 2 minus 5 plus 4 plus 3. If you consider first two negative numbers, this is negative 7 and the positive 7, so this is equal to 0, which means f of x has one linear factor x plus 1 and something else. So our next step is to find such something else. But before we move on, I want a little bit talk about what we have done so far. We try x minus 1, which means f of 1 equal to 0 or not. Since it is not, we move on next option, x plus 1, which is f of negative 1 equal to 0 or not. Since it is equal to 0, we adapt x plus 1 as one of linear factors. For other practice question you want to study for, I recommend you try 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2 in this order. But most of the questions should be done by those options, but possibly you might have to try up to 3, negative 3, 4, or negative 4. Alright, the next step is I like to use synthetic division. This is one of the ways to find the linear factors of polynomials. Then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a coefficient of each coefficient of the polynomial. 2, negative 5, negative 4, 3. Then, so if you take a look at x plus 1, we write down negative 1 because x plus 1 is literally x minus negative 1. So such number write down here. In case if you are given x minus 1 as a linear factor, you're going to write down plus 1 in this place. So what we're going to do is 2 goes down here, so times here, we're going to write down right below negative 5. So negative 2, then we're going to add these two numbers and write down below negative 2. So negative 5 plus negative 2 is equal to negative 7. Then we're going to do the same thing. We multiply these two numbers and write down here, which is a 7. Then we're going to add this guy for negative 4. Then write down below 7. So negative 4 plus 7 is equal to positive 3. Then once again, we're going to multiply these two numbers and write down here, which is negative 3. Then if we add two numbers, which is 0, but let me isolate the 0 with other numbers. If your synthetic division goes well with one of the linear factor has been already found, you are supposed to have 0 at the end. Then, so we're going to write down using synthetic division is equal to f of x is equal to x plus 1. Then we can write down such limited things using 1, 2, 3 numbers. If you remember the algorithm between division, let me say long division, synthetic division, or any type of division for the polynomial, we divide cubic polynomial by linear function. You're supposed to have a quadratic function, which means something x squared plus something x plus constant. Then those three numbers we already found here. 2, here -7, 3. So as you can see, this is the way we can figure out quadratic function if cubic polynomial is divided by linear factor. Then step 3 is we like to find all linear factor of quadratic function 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. That is, let me write down such step here. 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. If you can find one of my previous video to find all linear factors of quadratic function, there is a simple way we identify all factors of the coefficient of x squared, which is 2, and the constant 3. Very luckily, 2 has only one pair of factor 1 and 2, as well as 3 and 1. Then we multiply this, each two numbers from each side, then make it -7. Since this guy's a negative, we put the negative for the factors of 3, which is -3 and -1. So if you multiply 2 and -3 and multiply 1 and -1 added together, that becomes -7. So in this way, we can determine linear factor of such quadratic function, which is 2x. This one must be multiplied by 3, so we're going to put the -3 over here. Then x will be multiplied by -1. We can always double check by expand your factor, making sure that it goes back to 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. So finally, we find all linear factors of cubic polynomial. That is x plus 1, 2x minus 1, x minus 3. Thank you for watching.